Hello, friends and family. Thank you so much for joining us today on Anaba's Kitchen. I hope you all are doing fantastic. Today, we're going to be happying ourselves with this very delicious Ghanaian OKRO Stew, one of my all-time favorite dishes ever. My mom, she used to reward me with this dish just for being a good kid back in the days. Yes, I'm going to be loading it with lots of flavor and texture. So keep on watching, friends. So friends, one thing's for sure, when it comes to Nanaba preparing Ghanaian OKRO stew, especially with the stew, I just cannot seem to edit myself. In terms of the ingredients I use, I just love to throw everything in there. Let me tell you, the more you put in there, the tastier it is. So that's Cameroon peppers, and I also have aniseed, and that's going to bring slight licorice flavor. You always need that when you're preparing meats. I have white and black peppercorns, and I also have some rosemary to bring a nice fragrance because there will be lamb in this preparation, and rosemary and lamb just work well together. I have some ginger, habanero, and also some garlic. Here's my onion. I'm going to be blending a quick marinade, starting with this one medium-sized onion. I'm just cutting it up into smaller pieces so they fit into the blender. So that goes into the blender, and then I add my garlic. I have 8 pieces of those, 2 small habanero chilies, and then the ginger. These are organic ginger, so I leave the skin on. I just wash it thoroughly since it's a root spice. I cut it up across the grain so that it blends without leaving strands. Add a little bit of water and blend till really smooth. Just like that. Now here's what I meant when I said I couldn't edit myself. So that's goat meat, and thank you, Kwanchua. She brought me some goat meat and some cow hide. I also have some lamb. Now this is Momoni, and that's going to bring us that umami. Yes, the stinkies are in the party today. I have some crabs. I also have some scallops, and I have smoked fish. I told you I can't edit myself. I was not joking. So I pour all the meat, include the crab because these are all tough. They take a lot longer to cook. So I have the goat meat with skin on from Kwanchua, as well as the cowhide. Kwanchua even went ahead and parboiled the cowhide for me. So thank you, sis. You know I love you. So I've added my marinade and a little bit of water by rinsing the blender. I've also added my beef base, and now I'm adding some salt to season. At this point, you want to season very generously so that your meat tastes like meat, as I always and usually say. So now you place your pot on medium heat, cover it, and let it cook for 30 minutes until the meat is nice and tender. Now the aroma at this moment here, you just need to be here with me to take it all in. It's really good. Yes indeed. So while that is going on, you go in at some point and you stir it together just to make sure that the meat is cooking evenly, and just to check on it. I also go ahead and wash my fresh ingredients, my okra, and yes, I will be introducing some eggplants in this rendition of okra stew. It brings in a creamy texture, which I absolutely love, and this is as authentic as it can ever get. Okra stew, we usually include eggplants. Now I've washed them, and I've also made a brine solution, which is going to prevent the cut up eggplants from oxidizing. When they oxidize, meaning they get hit with the air, and the oxygen in the air turns them into a brown color, which can be very off-putting. So throwing them into the brine solution prevents that from happening. So they sit in there for just a few minutes, giving me some time to cut up my okra. Now with the okra, I really want texture. Okay, so I'm going to be just chopping it, cutting them really into little discs. And that's how I'm going to be cutting up my okra today. I will also be blending a little bit of the okra just to really activate the sliminess of it, because I will not be using any baking soda today. All right, so there we go. That's done. And see, it is still nice and bright. So now we remove it from the brine solution and set these both aside. Friends and family, checking upon the meat, we notice that the meat is nice and tender. Okay, so the cowhide is cooked to perfection. It's not too tender. Okay, it's not melting away. We don't want that. And the goat meat is also cooked to perfection. It's perfectly tender. Everything is looking good, and the sauce or the broth around it is nicely thickened. You see nothing but flavor at this point. I will be using the same pot in cooking the stew, so I just wash it out and pour in my palm oil. I have the pot on medium heat. I add up my chopped up onion, and this is one whole medium-sized onion. I add a habanero chili and my stinkies. Yes, Momoni, that's fermented fish or cured fish. That brings the depth of flavor that you really need in this stew. Now I've just added some chopped up tomatoes. This is canned tomatoes actually, so, and it is delicious. Now I've added my smoked fish. Now the smoked fish is this one is pretty firm. It's usually very delicate, but this one came really firm. So I have soaked it in some water, just warm water, for a little bit and wash it off thoroughly before adding it. I've also added the eggplant. Even though the fish is firm, I am still, mindful of the fact that it can still fall apart as it cooks. So when I'm stirring that, I keep that in mind. I've also just added my mushrooms, and mushrooms in this stew is to die for. It soaks up all those beautiful juices from the stew, and when you bite into it, it's like you being in heaven. Actually, it really is. So stir everything together. And now we're going to add our scallops. Now I have been cooking for about 10 minutes since tenderizing the meat, which is the longest part of cooking this stew. Once that's done, it's like easy peasy. So now we're adding the delicates, okay, starting with the scallops. And so once you add that, you quickly go ahead and add the meat that's already tenderized, including the broth and all of those big flavors. And then stir everything together to combine it, so each ingredient in there takes on the flavors of the others. Okay, so they all become one holy matrimony. All right, just look at that right there. Let me just be quiet for a minute so you can take a good look and soak it all in. So good looking. All right, there comes another delicate. So this is our prawns or our shrimp, deveined and shelled. Heads have also been removed there. So just stir it in. And now we're going to add our chopped okra. So once that goes in, you're going to stir that in as well. Okay, still cooking on medium heat. The stirring action will cause it to release or activate that slimy nature of it. So the more you stir, the slimier it becomes, as you can see here. But that's not enough slime for me, so I'm going to blend a little bit and add it. Blending helps to really bring the slime factor. If I'm having okra stew, it better have some slime in there. Okra stew or soup. All right, when I cook okra soup, I usually would add a little bit of baking soda to really brighten that green color and also really help that draw to occur in terms of the slimy nature of the okra. But in this case, when I'm making stew, not necessarily. I try to really eliminate that step and just blend a little bit on the side and add it. And as you can see before your very own eyes, it works. Here comes another delicate. This is my smoked mackerel. Now, this is already cooked and it has a lot of flavor already on its own. So you don't really need to add it soon because it will really just tear up. It will completely disintegrate into the stew. You wouldn't even know it's there. So it goes in last, and just immerse it so it can take on the flavors of the stew and vice versa. And of course, you want to finish off this lovely stew with some cut up onions. Now these red onions bring lots of flavor, lots of crunch, and definitely color. Now at this point, friends, you want to be thinking of turning that heat completely off. The residual heat is just going to warm those onions up, leaving them still nice and crunchy and fresh and colorful. Now this is my cauliflower banku, and how it went so well with this stew is unbelievable. That cauliflower banku works very well with okra soup or stew. So I hope you really give this a try. Just take a look at this stew. So tasty, so delicious. He can see that we've packed a lot of flavor into it, and my son, oh, he loved it. You can see him right now helping himself with his little hand. He wasn't taking very big bites. He was having a hard time doing so, and I was trying to assist him because usually when we eat this together, I feed him. I just take his bites for him and put them in his mouth, but he wasn't having it today. So he was trying to use his thumb and index finger, and it wasn't quite working, but he was like, no mom, I do it myself today. So yeah, we really enjoy this. I hope you give this recipe a try and think of me when you're doing so. I thank you so much for watching today, and as always, friends and family, make it a great day and have fun, especially in that kitchen.